Hello, Internet. I'm Senor Science.
And I'm Tom. We look at movies, TV shows, comic books, and look at the very scientific topics and say, that's not how it works. So today's topic is
radiation.
Or more specifically, its effect on the human body.
Like cancer.
Well, we're going to get to that later. So Hollywood and comic books and science fiction in general has created this false perception of how radiation affects the body.
People just go around thinking that they're going to jump into a vat of radioactive acid and turn into fucking Superman.
Or a mutant. Or a ghoul.
It's just not how it works.
Yeah, no, it's just going to be bad for you.
You're going to die.
Or if you do live, it's not going to be very pleasant.
It's going to be very painful.
So yeah, Hollywood has created this false perception of what radiation does to the body. With the more fantastical elements, you imagine people painlessly becoming superheroes after falling into a vat of radioactive waste.
I don't know. I watched X-Men Origins. That was pretty painful.
Moving on. I mean, we've seen it everywhere. Godzilla, Fallout, every B movie ever.
Hey, come on. I love Jerry Seinfeld.
Of course, the reality of the situation is far uglier.
Almost as ugly as Tom's back hair.
Now, the effect that radiation has on the body depends on the type of radiation, the amount of it you're exposed to, and how long you're exposed to it. There are three main types of radiation: alpha particles, beta particles, and gamma rays.
It's all Greek to me.
Now, alpha particles are actually pretty much harmless. They can't penetrate your skin.
But don't go around eating them. That's going to give you inside cancer.
Beta particles, on the other hand, can actually enter the initial layers of your skin and can lead to burns, called beta burns.
Wow, that's a really creative name. They really strained themselves coming up with that.
Now, the most dangerous of them are the gamma rays.
Oh, I know those ones. You get hit by those and you turn into a giant green rage monster.
You're going to turn less into the Hulk and more into a bulk of screaming, peeling flesh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's what we're getting into. When a person is exposed to high doses of radiation in a short time, they undergo acute radiation syndrome.
And trust me, folks, it's not cute.
Not at all. Now, you see, what radiation does is that it damages your chromosomes. In low doses, the symptoms might just be some nausea and a headache.
Like after a night of heavy drinking.
Of course, in the higher doses, you will not live long enough to get cancer. In 1999, in the Tokaimura power plant in Japan, 2 workers were exposed to a lethal dose of radiation, one of whom received more radiation than if he had been standing in the hypocenter of the blast that destroyed Hiroshima. One of those workers, named Hisashi Ochi, was kept alive for more than 83 days after the accident. For 45 of those days, he was kept in a medically induced coma, but unfortunately the doctors could not save him. His white blood cell count was essentially 0, and he had severe burns on his skin from the radiation exposure. You see, what radiation exposure does in those high dosages is that it basically makes it impossible for the body to heal damage done on a daily basis. As a result, towards the end of his life, Hisashi Ochi suffered severe organ failure as his guts practically liquefied.
Oh, come on, man. Keep it lighthearted.
Oh, I'm sorry. Radiation sickness isn't lighthearted.
Well, I would like to sleep tonight.
Well, to end on a bit of a light note, I mean, you don't glow when you're radioactive. Most radioactive materials don't glow. Radium is one of the few exceptions, in fact.
If anything, that's more depressing. I'd like to glow.
So basically, if you get exposed to a high dosage of radiation, you're not going to turn into the Hulk or a ghoul.
You're going to die.
Slowly.
And painfully.
Very, very painfully.
Did we mention how painful it was going to be?
I think we did. Anyway, I'm Tom.
And I'm Senor Science.
And thanks for watching.